We are at Nijo Castle in Kyoto, Japan. And we can't take photos inside the palace, the Ninomaru Palace we're going into, but we're going to start with looking at the Karamon gate. Everything here was meant to demonstrate power of the Tokugawa clan. So if you look at the Karamon gate here, you see the gilded ornaments, and you see dragons, and you see swans, and it was meant to intimidate the people coming in. And as you can see here, we've got Nijo Castle, but in particular the Ninomaru Palace. This is where Tokugawa Ieyasu resided. Now, in 1600, the Tokugawas under Ieyasu defeated the other feudal lords in Japan, and in 1601, to show his power, he ordered 40 feudal lords to help build this palace. Now, in 1603, this is where he came for the emperor to declare him shogun of the country. Now, it's fascinating because even in this limited history, this is where the first shogun was declared, military leader of the country, and where the last was, Yoshinobu, in 1867. Now, inside, you've got, the Kano school had, built, much of this, as well as done a lot of the paintings and the architecture and things that you see in here. The pine trees and the bamboo and the, paintings of tigers that didn't exist in Japan at the time. We're going to walk in through the garden so you can see other parts of the palace from the outside. Now, interestingly, inside they have these floors that chirp. They call them nightingale floors. And they make a noise where a lot of people thought that it was to warn of ninja or, a samurai attack. But apparently, according to the castle, that it's actually the nails and the joints kind of rubbing together over time. Fascinating. Now, another interesting point is that when the emperor would come to visit, now there was a gate here, it was 2 stories, and in 1619, I believe, the emperor came for a visit, and they had to make it 1 story because nobody can look down on the emperor. So the guards on the 2nd floor would have been disrespectful. Now, inside, there were, waiting rooms that were designed to demonstrate power and intimidate guests. In particular, Tokugawa didn't hide any of his bodyguards. He had them on display to show that, he was powerful and he was not afraid. Also, when the retainers from the emperor would come, or his messengers, when they came, they had a special room where the messengers would sit above the shogun, and it was to suggest that the emperor was actually the power holder in Japan. But we know that was just an act. It was a facade, because really it was the shogun that had the power. Now, the shogun was based in Tokyo at the time called Edo, which is why we call it the Edo period. And this was a place where the shogun would just really come on imperial visits or visits, to the emperor and that kind of thing, and sometimes call daimyo from around the country here. Now, interestingly, it was around 1601 when Tokugawa was trying to, affirm his power in Japan. Takes a group of samurai down to Osaka, defeats the last of the Toyotomi clan that were trying to take power, and from then it was Tokugawa rule up until 1867. And again, here is where the Tokugawas gave up their rule in 1867. It's fascinating. In 1867, when the imperial family took control back of the palace and power in Japan, they took all the hollyhock crests from the Tokugawa clan called kamon, and they changed them to the imperial crest, or the kamon, which is a chrysanthemum, giving back the power to the emperor. That's a little bit of the history. We'll write some more for you later.